Welcome to Real Estate Coaching Radio, starring award-winning real estate coaches and #1 international best-selling authors Tim and Julie Harris. This is the #1 daily radio show for realtors looking for a no BS, authentic real-time coaching experience. What's really working in today's market, how to generate more leads, make more money, and have more time for what you love in your life. And now, your hosts, Tim and Julie Harris.
Welcome back. It's Tim and Julie Harris. We've got a really, I think, appropriate podcast for all of you guys today. It's agents, how to handle those holiday objections. So here's what we want to open your mind to, is the fact is statistically in many of the markets around the country, over the holidays is actually the best time to have their house for sale. And once you, now, is that relevant to everyone? And by best time, what do I mean? It'll result in them having the most net profit from the sale of the home. Does that matter to everyone in the same way? It doesn't. So what we're going to help you do is matriculate through all the objections you hear this time of year, and we're going to tell you what to say and how to say it. And we're then going to tell you how, even if they're not going to put their house for sale over the holidays, we're going to show you what to do to make sure those folks do put their houses for sale or buy, I suppose, when they're ready, which is generally speaking going to be in the spring. Now, you're noticing a lot of air quoting today if you're watching us on YouTube. It's because over the holidays and in the spring, if you don't have the prospect defined for you what that means to them, you're going to make a mistake. And we're going to get into all that on today's show. So before we get to our first point, I want to remind all of you, if you've not yet done so, subscribe to the daily newsletter, harrisrealestatedaily.com. It is frankly, it's grown into a really wonderful community of folks that are getting proprietary content from Julie and I, not just the notes from today's show, which is available on the newsletter, but also a lot of unique content that we're writing. And both Julie and I are leaning heavily into proactive lead generation in the newsletter for the content that we're not presenting on the show. But in addition to that, a lot about AI. AI is a very fascinating topic that I think is going to massively transform how efficiently all of us will be able to become really great proactive lead generators. That's what I truly believe. I'm very optimistic and excited about it. And ignore your boomer gloomers that are thinking that the world's going to be coming to an end. All right, so Julie, the holiday season is one of the most wonderful and challenging times of the year in real estate. Between festival chaos, family gatherings, and travel, buyers reschedule, sellers take a break, and many agents quietly coast until January. Here's the truth. The agents who finish the year strong are the same ones that start the next year ahead of everyone else. And how can you enjoy the holiday season and keep your business momentum? And let's break it down. So Julie, point number 1 is respect your client's wishes.
Yeah, so start with empathy. If the client insists on taking a break until after the holidays, you can respect their decision. You don't have to argue with that. But you can also be proactive by scheduling a tentative appointment to resume activity after the season. What is your relaunch date? Get a commitment from you and them. Watch out for your listing expiration dates and get extensions in writing. Stop by with a thoughtful pop-by gift to keep yourself top of mind. It could be an ornament, handmade cookies, a small token of appreciation. Maybe even invite them to your client appreciation holiday party. There's an idea. Keep the relationship warm and personal. Don't just set them and forget them.
Now,
Respect and gratitude go a long way towards their loyalty.
When they say they want to take time off for the holidays, do not assume that they're logically thinking through what that might mean to them. So for example, if you know that your new construction house is going to be done in February, and you know your market well enough to know that if they take it off the holidays, and let's say, so Mr. Seller, I totally understand and appreciate it. So are you thinking like the first week in January, or are you thinking the second week? Give them a choice. Well, the second week sounds good to me. Okay. So can I tell you what scares me for you about that, Mr. Seller? Sure. Well, so your new house is scheduled to close the last week in February, right? And assuming there's no, headwinds to that, let's just say there are, let's put it the first week in March. So we effectively, when we put the house active on the market again, are going to have less than 60 days to actually find a buyer and close on the house. Now, it is possible that we could do that, but most likely what's going to happen is you will have a close date on your new construction home and you'll still own your existing home. So you'll own 2 homes at once. Are you okay with that? Is that acceptable to you? Oh yeah, I got cash. I'm going to pay the new one, or I own this one. I'm going to pay cash for the next one, whatever it is. Okay. All right, great. So you thought it through. I just wanted to make sure. But if you start saying like, can I tell you why that scares me for you? Because you might be stuck in a position where you're going to own 2 homes at once. And are you financially prepared for that? No, I didn't realize that. Yes. So you realize that we need to keep the house on the market now so that all your dates time out on the end. So you're moving from one home to the next. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. You guys get it? So when
You
they
can
say,
also use longer days on the market, which the country is seeing, and in some markets, a lot longer days on the market. So if they've got something like that, an actual motivated closing date, and you find out that on average it's taking 100 days to sell a home like theirs, and it's only been on for 60, maybe that figures into the conversation as well.
and also
Maybe they can handle it, maybe they can't. The point is, it's your job to know.
exactly, that's the point. Don't assume that they know the headwinds that they're creating or the challenges they might be creating by taking it off for the holidays. Don't assume that you have to be in control, because by the way, if they are facing down the barrel of having to own two homes at once, and they realize it's because they took it off the market for the holidays and they burned up some of their marketing time, they're not going to blame themselves. They're going to blame you. And guess what? You're not going to keep that listing. Understand? So you
Be
need
the listing agent when it sells.
that's right. The biggest tip ever in real estate to be a successful listing agent: have the listing when it sells. Explain, point number 2, explain the hidden advantage of staying active. Before they hit pause, Julie.
Help your sellers understand the real benefits of being active during the holidays. Based on our own experience of selling 100 to 200 homes a year for nearly a decade and thousands of coaching calls with top producers, the data never lies. Listings will have fewer showings, but better showings. What do we mean by that? Buyers who are out during the holidays are serious. They're qualified. They're motivated. Many of them are relocating executives, sellers who have already sold and need their next home, or well-qualified renters eager to buy before their leases renew. A lot of leases renew in January, don't they? So fewer showings, yes, but higher quality. We wouldn't want to miss out on those.
And the
Maybe
list
we go from 10 a week to only 2, but those 2 are dead serious.
And the list to sell price ratio in most markets this time of year is tighter. In other words, what the buyers are paying, because there's less homes for them to choose from and they're more motivated. So let's say their house closed or is about to close. And normally in the spring, let's say there's 30 houses for sale, but now there's only 10 and they don't want to rent and then wait until the spring. They're going to, obviously have.
They don't want to risk losing it.
Exactly. You guys get the point? So that's one of the reasons when you're trying to explain to the seller why sometimes, the best homes don't sell, and it might not be for the reason why, that's one of our expired scripts. But the reality of it is Mr. Seller, if I understand and appreciate the fact that you might want to hold the house off the market to the spring, but let me ask you a question just so that I'm doing my best job for you. If there was a real tangible financial advantage, and could be frankly tens of thousands of dollars more in your pocket, if you had the house for sale now versus waiting to the spring, would you still want to hold the house off the market? And see what they say. And you might be surprised how many of them are going to say, no, please explain. Julie just did. All right. Point number 3, showcase the home's holiday magic.
During this time of year, homes often look their absolute best. They've got twinkling lights, cozy decor, warm scents that connect emotionally with buyers. Common buyers' questions like, where would we put the Christmas tree? Or will our dining room table fit here? Answer themselves when the home is already beautifully staged for the season. The emotional connection helps buyers picture their holiday memories there, which is a major advantage. So there's that. Okay.
I'm glad I didn't have to read that point. Remember, guys, all these notes.
Holiday magic, too amiable for you?
Yeah, way too amiable. So all these notes are available in our newsletter, as I mentioned a second ago. And a lot of these are basically cut and paste to your sellers. You guys get it? All right, point number 4, manage showings around the holidays. Jules?
Well, this is one that really comes up and is easy to handle. When sellers want a break because of family gatherings and events, offer instead to control their showing times around their schedule. Create a showing calendar. What works? What are the blackout dates? Nobody's going to probably want to see a house on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, but cross those out and tell them, instead of taking it off the market for the whole month, let's just not allow showings on days that you have holiday events. Let them know that being flexible, even slightly, does help beat the competition. Most showing agents are happy to adjust their times when serious buyers are involved. So again, don't just take a break, control the showings. That's easy enough.
Well, but also Julie's kind of hinting towards something. You have to be on the job. You have to be there and answer questions. And another reason that sometimes homes, frankly, statistically, they sell for fewer days in the market with a better list to sell price ratio this time of year. But you could be the fly in the ointment if you're not returning calls, if you're not being there to help serve.
No, that's true. That should be on this list, right? Don't be part of the problem.
Don't be part of the problem. Don't be hiding out from the marketplace when you have active listings, because that's a lot of, unfortunately, what inexperienced, frankly, unprofessional listing agents might do. Point number 5, protect your own momentum. Big point, Julie Harris.
Yes, agents who finish the year on track or ahead of their goal almost always have one thing in common. They had an amazing first quarter. That is what you are controlling right now. That is where your momentum is right now. What you do today, this week, this month determines your early year success. So don't wait for January 1st to reboot your business like everybody else. Decide that this is your January 1st.
The next point, Julie and I both hate, but we know it's true. It's called play the yes game. And Julie and I, whether you know it or not, are introverts. And left or well, if you look at our cabin that we're in now in Appalachia for another week or so, you'll see that definitely we're introverts. Otherwise, who would want to live here in the fall? But we do because we're introverts. And it's the exact opposite of our lifestyle back in Puerto Rico, which is constant extroversion, which is sometimes a little exhausting for us. But this is something Julie and I started doing. We heard somebody say this back when we were selling real estate. We heard it from our Howard Brinton family, by the way. And the gist of it is to play the yes game. And I'll give you guys a simple way of understanding what it means. If you're invited to participate in anything, just say yes. Don't overanalyze. Don't say check my schedule. Don't say I want to think about it. Don't say I want to check my spouse.
Just do it.
Just do it. Your job is to come in contact with as many humans as possible over the next 60 to 90 days. And then when you're with them, obviously enjoy and celebrate the holidays, but also, hey, by the way, Bob, do you know of anyone that's thinking about buying or selling real estate that I should be helping in this market? So you say the yes game to everyone all the time. Point number 7, Julie, host strategic holiday open houses.
Yes, don't assume that nobody's looking. Some of your best buyer and seller leads can come from holiday open houses, especially if your listings are well staged, warm, and inviting. So much stale inventory is on the market or taking a break, not your listings, hopefully. Make your listings stand out by highlighting their unique appeal, their seasonal charm. You can serve cocoa, cookies, embrace the season, make it fun, cider, capturing contact information, offering neighborhood updates. Just embrace it and do it right. You might be the only open house in that neighborhood, and there's buyers who are dying to be in that neighborhood. They're going to come and see you, whether they buy today or buy next month or next year. You're going to be the go-to contact. When you do it right, it can become lead generation gold mines.
And remember, a lot of people, prospective sellers, the ones that are thinking about listing in the spring, are going to be not at work, and they're going to be seeing that you're hustling during the holidays. They're going to go to your open house, and you're going to leave a great impression on them that you are not lazy, and then you'll at least have an opportunity to compete for whatever listing, for their listing, right? And most likely you're going to be competing against their previous agent, who probably has done a terrible job following up. And so you are essentially applying for the job of being their future listing agent because they're seeing you do these open houses. Do what other people aren't willing to do when they aren't willing to do them, and you'll experience things that those people can't even fathom as you build momentum. Julie, point number 8, plan ahead. Don't wing it for the new year.
Yes, this isn't really a holiday objection. This is more of an agent objection handler. Don't wait until next year. As the year winds down, this is when you should be planning your first quarter. This is when you should be involved in coaching, reassessing your goals, your priorities, finalizing your 2026 business plan, your daily lead generation schedule, refreshing your systems, your scripts, and your database. Now is the time to get control of all of that stuff, not waiting until first quarter. First quarter, you're supposed to be doing your closings. You're supposed to be selling. You're supposed to be handling your listings. So get ahead of it right now. This is a lot of the work that we're doing in coaching with our clients right now.
That's right. And don't wait until January 1st to join the gym or join, whatever you're going to do to get in shape. Don't do what everyone else does. Have your effectively mentally and emotionally. We were trying to get you guys to start your new year about 30 days ago. But if you didn't listen to us or maybe hadn't discovered our show yet, it's opportunistic for you to, it's smart for you to take advantage of that now. So have your new year already officially started mentally and emotionally. So all the things that you're going to put off to the start of the year, do now, implement now. That way you carry this momentum in, just Julie's prescribing. And the number one thing is, I know it's self-serving, but it's true. Get involved in Premier Coaching. You're going to be around like-minded people who are also engaged this time of year, building momentum into the year. And you're going to have your listing presentation done. You're going to have your scripts down. You're not going to be waiting until the new year to learn actually how to build your business in the era of AI during this great housing boom that we're predicting. You're going to already have the momentum built in. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Otherwise, you'll pay. Look, think of it this way. The relationships that you start in January don't generally pay out just maybe that's a little harsh, but it's true. For how many months? 6, maybe 4 months later. So if you have a real meaningful conversation with a prospective seller, we'll put our house for sale in the spring. What's spring mean to you? So they put it for sale March. Okay, March, then it doesn't sell until June. That relationship, you guys look at the life cycle of most of the conversations you have. So if you're wondering, and I'm just going to buy leads. Well, I have news for you guys. The bought lead business, as we discussed yesterday, is essentially over with, done. I believe largely the branding business is over with, done. I think AI is going to eviscerate both of those things. Julie and I have been talking a lot, especially on our Friday shows, as to why. The business is going to be controlled by those who are willing to have meaningful conversations with the decision-making adults about buying or selling real estate, person to person. And all the AI, all the chat GPT, all the social media is going to reinforce the actual real life conversations. It is a sea change back to normal for the real estate industry. I want you to think about that. That means the playing field is actually level. That means that those of you who actually know how to have meaningful conversations, who aren't, afraid to maybe go out there and say yes to as many different parties and social events as you can over the holidays, you're going to have a huge advantage. You guys get it? This is what many of you have been waiting for. You've been feeling that maybe the train has left the station and you weren't on it. You've been feeling that maybe you're too old, too young, not smart enough, too smart, whatever. And maybe you thought, okay, well, all the real estate influencers have already dominated the business. Oh, I have to be part of a big team or all the rules are changing because of AI. Like that. Not slowly, like that. And you see it happening around you. Watch what happens in the next 60 to 90 days, but please watch while you are having direct interactions with buyers or sellers who ultimately do transactions with you. AI is not going to replace you. It's not. It can't. It can't get a real estate license, right? AI can replace a lot of other people, but it can't replace you, because to do a deal, to do a transaction in every state, you have to have a license. In many countries, you have to have a license. So stop worrying about AI. And when you come across somebody that's trying to get you to worry about AI, ignore, set them to ignore, and do it urgently. All right, Julie, so let's go with final thoughts. Oh, by the way, Premier Coaching, of course, you can join Premier Coaching right now for free. Just go to premiercoaching.com or click the link below. Final thoughts: celebrate, connect, and prepare. Julie Harris.
Well, the holidays shouldn't be a business killer. They are a momentum multiplier as long as you handle yourself wisely. Keep your energy positive, your schedule intentional, and your relationships strong. You can enjoy every bit of the season's magic while still setting yourself up for an incredible first quarter. So stay visible, stay active, and stay in conversation, because your 2026 starts right now. Stay frosty, as Sim says, by joining Premier Coaching today at premiercoaching.com. You can join our mastermind at harrismastermind.com. And of course, continuing to read this newsletter, harrisrealestatedaily.com.
Thanks to all of you who have given us 5-star reviews recently on iTunes. Your homework from today's show is, if you've not yet done so, give us a 5-star review on iTunes. I showed you how to do it yesterday. I'll show you how to do it again today. It takes literally no time. Hit the purple button, whether you're on Android or iPhone. Go to, and if you're not listening to us on iTunes, you're watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe. But if you're over on iTunes, just go to find our podcast. It's right there, bright green button. Click the button and then scroll to the bottom where the reviews are, right there. And then give 5 stars and leave a comment. That's all it takes. It takes like, a minute? Please do that. We really sincerely appreciate your continued support. We continue to be the #1 real estate performance coaches in the nation, and this continues to be the #1 listened to daily training and coaching podcast in the nation, because of the fact that we're helping a lot of you in this transitioning market. I promise you guys, with every ounce of what we know about this industry, that we are about to experience an enormous opportunity in the industry that's going to last probably a couple decades. Do not wait to find out if I'm right. Just assume I am until I prove otherwise. And then you're going to discover immense amounts of opportunity that's going to surround you. It starts with your mindset of optimism. Don't look for reasons why the start of, essentially why 2026 is going to be the start of a long-term period in your life of increasing upward success in your business and your personal life. Don't look for reasons why it's wrong. Look for reasons why it's right, all right? Look for positive, reinforcing, optimistic people and experiences and communities. That's what our newsletter is. That's what our coaching program is. And then stay around those people. When you find people that support your goals, and you find people to support your goals unconditionally, then you need to stay around those people and keep them close. Guys, thank you for allowing us to be in your lives every day. And we sincerely appreciate the honor of you being in our lives every day as part of this podcast and our coaching program. Have a fantastic day. We'll talk with you on the show tomorrow. Hello, thank you for having watched this video. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. And don't forget to hit that like button, leave your comments and questions below, and we will get right back with you.
Thank you for watching this video. And remember to watch the next one. You're going to love that one.